It's March 20th today, and it's time to start seeds in dirt. Using a premium seed starting mix. It's a nice, light, loose soil, great for starting seeds. And then later we're going to transplant into solo cups with a different soil, which is just a potting soil. I start out by dumping half of this bag into a 5-gallon bucket. I dump about a half a gallon of water. I mix by hand, and then I add the rest of the soil, and then the rest of the water. Like I say, 12 quarts of starting mix, and I place in one of these a germination station that comes with a heating pad. Looks like this, which will bring your soil up to about 70 to 85 degrees is what you want. That's why that's kind of important. And then we're going to put the dirt into these seed cells. We're ready to start planting the seed. You're going to want the soil to be moist enough that when you squeeze it, moisture comes out of it. That way, when you go to plant the seeds, there'll be enough water in there to get started. So fill your trays and we'll go. Okay, so about have all these filled up. You want to go around and do what I call the poke test, where if it's firm, it's good. Right there. If it's not, it's going to need some more soil. Same with these. Yeah, I start in the middle and work my way out, and just keep grabbing handfuls of the soil and keep doing it until it's done. So this is what it looks like when it's all filled up. I also wanted to show you, probably can't see this, but I also dated and marked every detail. You know, the day I planted the seed, and then the date that it germinated, and then I also put the date that I put it inside of a solo cup. That's important, so you can look back on that next year, so you know if you want to adjust for time and all that. So what I also do is I numbered each and every one of those seeds, starting with number 1. And last year's seeds I did orange bell peppers. I labeled number 9, and I saved some of the seeds. You also want to make sure that you look at the time zone of your area. Kind of give you an idea of what it looks like on the back. I'm going to start out with what I started with, my number 1 plant seed from last year, which was my guajillo chilies. And I've saved a lot of seeds, the peppers that I grew, and dried them out on a paper plate and put them in a plastic bag, dated, and put the number. So this is my very first seed that I'm going to plant, number 1. I'm going to write it down in my journal, and once I do that, I'll go for my next set of seeds, number 2, and so on and so on. So I'll show you here in a second how we'll do this. So what I like to do is put some seeds in my hand. I'm going to write number 1 on the corner. I might write number 1 on this corner as well, because I'm going to do 6 cells with guajillos. Then I take my pencil, I poke it down in the soil. I plant 3 seeds per cell. That way, if one does not germinate, or 2, then I'll have enough plants in the end. sometimes they don't germinate. I've had pretty good success with what I planted seed-wise last year, and we're gonna hopefully have the same for this year. So 3 seeds in each cell, and just keep planting these. What I use is the pencil to poke down the seed, and then what I'll do is just gently cover it with just a little bit of soil, just enough to where when you go to water these, the seed doesn't like float to the top or move around. Okay, so I got all the seeds in the tray, and what I'm going to do is just kind of gently put a little bit of dirt on top of each cell covering the seeds, and here in a second I'm going to water them in. What you want to do is make sure that if one of the seeds are still sticking up, either push it down with your pencil or put more dirt on top. There we go. So I ended up with 12. So I'll take my solo cup with lukewarm and kind of gently water them in so you don't wash the seed out. Like that. But I just washed the seed out. Takes a steady hand. So I plan on coming back with another video or two and to show you the rest of the steps of what I do and how you can be successful with growing your own plants from seed at home. Once you're done planting all your seeds and labeling everything, make sure you plug in your heating pad, which is on the bottom, does not go on the inside of this container whatsoever. You also want to take the clear plastic dome that comes with it. These seedlings aren't going to be in here for but maybe 7 to 10 days, depending on what you plant, maybe a couple weeks for other things, but for most part. Peppers take about 7 to 10 days, and tomatoes are a little bit shorter, maybe 3 to 7 days, give or take. So make sure you look at the zone that you're in and go from there. What I'm going to do is try to put out a couple more videos to show you how to take these seedlings, split them apart, plant them in composted dirt in a solo cup, and we'll kind of go from there, and I'll show you the rest. Thanks.